flying out of San Jose Airport, Silicon Valley's airport. At least that's what it kept saying on the recording. Like every minute or so, that voice would come on. Welcome to San Jose Airport, Silicon Valley's number one, blah blah blah. It was basically awful. It really was. Not because of them or anything else. It's just long time. It was a really long and ugly layover, and yeah, it was worth it though, right? It was completely worth it. Let's see who we got. The Major, good to see you. See, we're missing somebody here. Let me get this squared away. There we go. Linda is boss. The Major, seventh son. Tommy Bird, glad you're here, Tommy. Miss V, seventh son, glad you're here. All right, people. Before we get rolling, I want to have fun tonight. Seriously, I want to tell a couple of funny things. Virginia, good to see you. I'd really like to do some stuff that can make people laugh. We tend to get bogged down. By the way, couldn't get a thumbnail up today to save myself. Literally, could not get a thumbnail up to save myself. It just decided that it wasn't going to happen. I tried turning off the live feed, going back. I had a cool little thumbnail, but I guess after this thing went up, I'll go back and put it on, which is a little bit frustrating. But so today, I had my drug counseling. I only do it once a month now. It's ordered by the federal government, and I don't mind this. I really don't. It's the counselor is a super intellectual cat, and it's always very stimulating conversation. It's always, for the most part, about rehabilitation and things, sort of germane to that. And I learn a lot there. So, sometimes stuff I don't know about, because these people are, they're certified and been through every form of training you can to be a drug counselor. And it's great to sort of get their opinion. And we share info back and forth. I enjoy it. I really do. But when I walked in the door today, this was on the counter. How to use a fentanyl test strip. Stapled to that was, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess, a 6-pack of fentanyl test strips. This is where we're at. It's a two-edged sword here. Part of me, it's heartbreaking that we need this. There's a part of me that wishes that, we didn't do this, because it feels like we tapped out. It feels like we're condoning drug use, and I get that. Hello, Stacy. But the other option is letting people die. And a lot of the people who are addicted to opiates, they didn't get addicted to this poison. Everybody has their own story, but a lot of people got addicted to, eating pain pills or smoking what they thought was opium. I mean, there's just a ton of ways that a person can find themselves, strung out. Bad surgeries, injuries, you hear motorcycle crashes, you hear all kinds of things. And the next thing you know, you can't stop. And now you're sort of forced to go out to the street and get medication that they're simply not going to give you enough of, when you go to the pharmacy. I mean, by the time you're deep into it, you might be needing 14 to 16, tablets a day, and they're probably giving you 4 or 5. So people go, drug dealers, other people who sell off prescriptions. It's not condoning drug use. It's condoning safe drug use. It's a good point. It really is. It's a good point. You find yourself then at the mercy of an unregulated industry, and a lot of the pills that are on the street right now are these Percocet 30s that they're stamped a Percocet 30. Obviously, they're not truthfully that, but they look the part and they can kill you. So it's not every state now. She was my counselor was telling me, it's not every state, but it's a lot of them. And I said, I just want to take a picture of these. I said, I don't want to take any because, what if what I'm taking is something that somebody else could have had, and they don't have it to test. And my counselor said, no, we have more of these than you could possibly imagine. Which again, Makes me happy. I'm glad that they're doing something to, hey, Pamela, I'm glad that they're doing something to keep these people alive. But it's sad that, we've almost gotten to the point where we just have to tap out. There's so much coming across the border that we can't do anything there. So we're going to get to the very end user and at least try to protect them, which is better than nothing. It really is. It's better than nothing. So, yeah, like I said, it's a mixed bag. It really is. But on the whole, I think I'm happy about it. I really do. And that's probably a subject for another day anyway, because no matter how many people we asked about this, you'd get a whole lot of opinions. And it's not to say that any of them are not valid. To be really honest, I think that, having an opinion on this is, everybody probably would. Everybody should anyway. Let me see here. Gamecock Mike. Hey guys, hope everyone is well. I really hate having to use my phone for live chats, but what can you do when in hospital? Mike, I'm sorry to hear that you're in a hospital. I'm glad that you're here, but I'm really sorry to hear you're in the hospital, man. That's it's never fun. It really isn't. I've spent a chunk of time in the hospital over the course of my life, and it's rarely, a good thing. And it's very, even under the best of circumstances, it's not enjoyable. It's not something that people look forward to. I think most people view hospitals like airports. It's kind of a necessary evil. If you're going to get done what needs to get done, you're not going to get there without a hospital or an airport. But both of them have terrible food. Never seems to go exactly how it's supposed to. I think that there's a lot of similarities you could draw between the two. At least that's been my experience with both of those type of facilities. Verte, good to see you, my friend. I'm glad that you're here. People, our 4 basic rules. No politics. We're not going to talk about religion and bag on other people's religions. Mean people, they're no good. And we'd like to keep down on any of the cursing if we can just keep it out of the comment section, because it doesn't stimulate good conversation. It really doesn't. DJ Daddio, it's good to see you, my friend. It really is. So I wanted to clown a little today. Honestly, so much of what we do here is pretty heavy, right? There's just a fairly heavy amount, a fairly decent amount of really heavy stuff that we have to talk about. And it's just sort of the nature, it's the nature of drug addiction, right? It's not always a really upbeat kind of a subject. And there's some humor, here at the Lifeboat, but the majority of it is you guys in the comments section. You've got your own little private jokes and everything else because you guys have been here so long and you know each other so well, and I love that. I think that's one of the coolest things ever. But there are some things that absolutely knock me down in terms of being really funny, and I've shared this with people in the past, but I've never brought it to the Lifeboat. And the reason that I didn't is because, when somebody just recently said to me, "How many people are you going to offend with what you're going to do tonight?" And my answer was about 15, right? I'm going to offend about 15 people. And the reason is, these are actually things that were sent to me. These are questions that I got, either to when this was the Tommy Scoville show or after we, transitioned into the Lifeboat. I have saved questions that I just found remarkable, right? Really sort of worthy. And now, if you happen to be one of the people that left, that asked these questions, I love you, right? Doesn't change that. But the questions you asked, not always well thought out, and sometimes just bizarre. But I pared it down to 10. These are the 10 funniest, I find, the funniest emails that I have ever received as the captain of this here boat. So, I want to start off with number 10. What is your shoe size? Swear to you. What's my shoe size? And And you can see that, right? I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you're really trying to get sober, you don't want the guy helping you to have a size 7 foot, right? Or an 8 or something. You want him on a larger foot or something. Why the hell would anyone want to know my foot size? Absolutely bizarre. But yeah, my foot size. So 7th son, you're more than worthy. Knock that off. Number 9. I love this. Number 9. Weed is not a drug. What about you? Not what's your opinion, Captain. Let me say this again, right? Weed is not a drug. What about you? That was the entire email. It's literally the entire email. And it sort of leaves you, saying to yourself, it might not be a drug, but it doesn't seem to be doing you a whole lot of good. You know what I mean? Like, it's an odd way to phrase something. The phraseology there is a little off, but it's cool. It's all good. Number 8, no joke. My mother is your age. Are you single, Captain? Right? I got somebody that wants to set me up with their mom. That's creepy. And the worst part of that is that it really hammers home how old you are. You know what I mean? Like when you're a younger dude, people say stuff like, I got a sister, or, I got a cousin, I got a close friend. Now it's, you're my mom's age, and you just sort of want to hang your head. But that's the nature of the beast, I guess, right? Getting old stinks, but it beats the alternative, right? Okay. That was... Number 7, keeping it just odd personal stuff. Do I like to dance? That was the question. Do you like to dance? It said Captain afterwards. And it kind of made me wonder if the same person that asked that might have been asking about my shoe size. You know what I mean? Like, because if I'm leading, I don't want me stepping on his toes or whatever. Odd. Really, really odd. Love this. I think this one could have been in the running for number 1. Right? But coming in at number 6, you're going to love this. Captain, with all the drugs you did you ever get arrested or wind up in jail? Do you get the sneaky suspicion that these people don't watch the show very much? Did I ever get in trouble and end up in, Did I ever end up in jail? Yeah, no. As it turns out, I got in a little bit of trouble, and of course, that's all behind me now. But yeah, there was a little bit of trouble. Good Lord. Number 5. Who's better, ABBA or the Bee Gees? Someone wants to know my opinion on which soft rock band is better. ABBA. If you change your mind, I'm the first in. Now you know ABBA. Fernando. A lot of hits. Dancing Queen. Yeah. Just awful. Right? And the Bee Gees, which, yeah, I'm just for whatever. And I never responded, and I kind of feel bad about that now. I probably would go with the Bee Gees. The disco thing, I don't know. It didn't offend me as much as it did other people. Number 4. What's the name of the first girl that you ever fell in love with? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the first girl you ever love is your mother, right? And then from that point on, I could say the first girl that I ever really wanted to call on a telephone or anything else. I've said this on the air before. I lived in a very rural place in Vermont, and I could pick up the telephone and dial 3375. 3375. Didn't have to dial anything else. 4 digits, and she would pick up the phone, which is really, really funny. Tommy Bird says, most serious addicts could come away and be lawyers, except for the felonies on our rap sheets. Well, there's a lot to that, right? There's a lot of guys that really sort of get that whole legal system, they spend so much time in it that you really do get kind of a handle on there, but those felonies tend to get in the way. And the major says, the only woman that will truly love you. I'd be lucky even if Ma loves me at this point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's see, where were we? Yeah, this one here, you sort of gotta, like, if you've been on the lifeboat long enough, this one's gonna make sense to you. Number 3, for those of you who are new to the boat or haven't been here for a long time, I was in a movie, right? When I was younger, I had what they call a day players part in a movie. So I had a speaking role, and I was on camera several times. So this email came in, and it said, I know that you were in the film Funny Farm. What was it like meeting Dan Aykroyd? The reason this is funny is because Dan Aykroyd's not in that movie, so didn't really get a chance to meet Dan. I would have liked to, you know what I mean? Elwood Blues was always, one of my favorite characters. Chevy Chase was the guy that was in Funny Farm, and he was a funny guy, had a good sense of humor. I think I actually might have talked about this on the air once or twice, but yeah, that one, just another one that really cracked me up. Number 2. Oh, this could have been number 1 real easy too, Number 2, how long have you been a captain? And did it start out military or civilian? How long have I been a captain? And did it start out military or civilian? For the majority of these, Gamecock Mike, he says, I love that movie. No, you don't. Nobody loves the movie Funny Farm. I'm the kid that steals the road signs. True story. You watch it again. So, for the majority of these, I never answered them, right? Because they just seemed, almost too silly for me to fire back on. So, if you were the person that asked this question, once again, how long have you been a captain? And did it start out military or civilian? The answer to the question would be about 5 months. I've been a captain. Started right here, maybe 6 months now. The perfect role for you. Yeah. Yep, Ladybug. Guilty as charged. If you fall off a wall and break both of your legs, don't come running to me. I like it. Not bad. And number 1, I was going to do the old Dave Letterman thing and say I got a top 10 list from the home office in White River Junction, New Hampshire. Number 1, there are a bunch of people on the boat right now who are going to remember this, because this was not an email, but this was so out there that it has to be number 1. This was actually left in the comments section during a live, right? So this was a live. Number 1 was, what are the names of your kids and where do they live? You remember that one? What are the names of your kids and where do they live? Yeah, I mean, that Father of the Year, right? Oh, yeah, this is my daughter's, I'll give you her address. Let me just give you the, and a bunch of people here basically went nuts and jumped on it, 7th, I know you were there. Pamela, yeah, that was kind of my response, that really was. Stacy Michael says, I remember that, Tommy. Yeah. And then it kind of bled over into the chat we used to do over off of the Messenger, right? And people were, and I was going over there saying it was creepy. It really was creepy. Tommy, that's the best way to put it. It was creepy as hell. But I think he was just odd, right? I don't think it was one of those like malicious things. But at the time, I had people messing with my family anyway, so I was like, no, I think I'm just going to pass and not answer that one. That was just, That doesn't set well. No, it does not. It does not set well at all. That one was about the dumbest thing I had ever heard. So, had to slide into number one. Now, there were a lot of other odd things that, well, not necessarily said or emailed, but I got some requests that didn't make a tremendous amount of sense to me. I have nothing nice to say, so I said nothing at all. Apparently, bad language is not acceptable on here. I have nothing to say, so I said nothing at all. Okay. Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? There's great food, but no atmosphere. Oh, that's so bad. That really is so bad. That's absolutely awful. That is absolutely awful. Seventh, you should be ashamed. I have not seen the Top Gun movie yet. I saw the original, obviously. I saw the original in a movie theater. Give you an idea how old I am. Depends on your definition of bad. Or the definition of what the word is. For those of a specific age, you might remember that one. What should you do if you see a spaceman? I don't know the answer to that. But hopefully it's coming right about now. Punchline. Okay. Yeah, you got to time those so that the punchlines come in, because now we're all wondering, what you should do if you see a spaceman. Wait a sec. Did I just see it pop up? One screen is always a little bit quicker than the other. Ask the spaceman if it's Halloween. Not a bad call. Park in it, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. What do you do if you see a spaceman? You park in it, man. Oh, it's awful. It really is. That's awful. You're both cut off. There's 5 minutes of timeout. I'm sorry. That's just awful. Absolutely awful. And the definition of awful should be really sort of clear on that one. Yeah. Just absolutely off. 5150. Correct. Right? Criminally insane. 5150. Get this man. Right? Get him one of those nice jackets that ties up in the back and put him in a padded room. These are the top 5 requests that I have had as captain of this year lifeboat that were either funny, bizarre, things that just made me go, what the hell? Number 5. As you said, timing. Yeah, it is all timing. That one came in a little late, but you know what I mean? Timing. You sort of got to pop in on the right syllable, right? Okay. So, number 5. Would I be willing to move in to help somebody get sober? This, people, is not a joke, right? This request was made from an individual, a fairly wealthy individual, that wanted me to basically come out and try to help get a relative sober, and pay my expenses or do whatever. And I said, they literally said to me, but I came highly recommended. By the way, that's what started it. I am. JC Singing Ministries. I love you, Tommy. Thank you, JC. That's a really kind thing to say. Thank you so much. It was a bizarre request, right? It really was. But in the beginning, he didn't tell me what the relative was. But I came highly recommended. So he says to me, "Can you give me an idea of hey, Johnny, good to see you. Can you give me an idea of some of your qualifications?" Right? And I'm like, my qualifications, like my curriculum vitae kind of thing. Well, let's see. I'm a convicted bank robber. I've been to prison for gun running. Did heroin for about 30 years and managed to survive that. And now I'm a captain of a boat that doesn't exist, right? And I have no license whatsoever to be a captain. It's sort of a virtual boat. I'm a virtual captain. But I think I'm probably pretty damn qualified, and I ain't been sober long enough. That would be like throwing me right back into the fire. And I've actually got some clean time under me. Here was my thing, right? Number one, it was just a bad idea. It's just a bad idea. And that's really how I felt from Jump Street. Not a good idea. But as this turns out, and we start to talk a little bit further, this is somebody a little bit younger, right? I don't want to give the exact age, but let's just say younger, right? A young adult daughter. There's no way in hell. I said, thank you. No, thank you. There is no chance whatsoever that I'm doing that. There's not enough money on the planet to get me to do that. That is just, I'm in recovery too. Like, I can't see going out but yeah, how's that for a very odd request? And a real one, people. No joke. That was a real request. So I was mistaken. The girlfriend's kid's dad wants a year sober. Nicole wants 6 months. I think he is salty. I taught her to swim and caught her first fish. But Nicole ain't wrong. I need to stabilize myself. Very mature, man. True story. Very mature. And the longer that you stabilize, the better off you're going to be. It's not the end of the world. I know a year feels like a really long time, but the next month, this channel will be a year old. And I promise you, it went by like that. Went by like that. One of the quickest years of my life. Truthfully, it absolutely flew by. And maybe it's because, what we do here. Maybe it's just because I haven't had too many years recently out on the street sober. But this just flew by. It really did. I think if you work your system, and you work a program to stay sober, you're going to be shocked at how fast we're going to be in here having the conversation of, so you're going to see your daughter, right? I mean, that's going to be one of those things, and it's going to be a big deal. I think that's absolutely awesome. Virginia says, we care. No question, right? Our defining characteristic. Number 4 in my odd requests. Are you ready? I'm coming to Nevada. Can I stay with you? I swear to you. I'm coming to Nevada. Can I stay with you? I'll be really honest. If that was Johnny, I would have said no. Oh, hey, Johnny, how you doing? 3 years, 2 months, and 3 days alcohol-free. My brother. I'm so proud of you. I really am. I remember that day really well. I do. I remember that day really, really well. But congrats, Johnny. Keep it up. The best is yet to come. There's no question. So, how about that? How about the question, hey, I'm coming to Nevada. Can I stay with you? This is somebody that watched the channel. Hey, I have an 85 Ford Winnebago. My dad just gave me, and it's going to take me a few weeks to get that in order. But after that, I will ship you the real lifeboat, 3D printed. All right. I like it. Thank you, my friend. I love that. I've had some strange requests. I will share them with you sometime. I can imagine, because I've been doing this quite a bit longer, and we're talking about a much larger group of people. Only about 116 times as large, something like that. It's a pretty big crew. Pretty big crew. Number 3. This one kind of made me laugh in a weird way, and I felt like maybe I was touched, like, on this one. It's not something that's ever going to happen, but it was a really nice sentiment. How many apples grew on a tree? All of them. Good answer. This is to the captain. Tommy, if you ever decide to get high, in parentheses, he wrote weed. If you ever decide to get high, I really want to smoke with you. Again, I'm honored. It's a really sweet thing to just a really nice thing, right? This person would like to get baked with me. The really funny thing is, it's coming to a sobriety. You come to a sobriety channel and ask the host if he might want to get stoned with you. That's an odd request. I mean, that is a really, really odd request. But yeah, it's if you happen to be watching, I'm not gonna smoke any weed, but if I could, you would not be the person I'd want to get high with, because that's just creepy. Sorry. Number 2. Do you remember the shirt that I wear? It's sort of like a Hawaiian kind of number with some flowers on it. Kind of looks silky. Okay. After one of my shows, I got an email that said, I would like to buy that shirt. They were quite serious. One of my more bizarre requests came was a $75 clipping of my goatee. Number 1 on my list. Would I sell my goatee? I came on one day and held it up because when I clipped it off, it was quite long, and when I cut it off, it had been sort of braided, so it was right there. And no lie, I had somebody say, would you be willing to sell that? And no, I won't. That's creepy. My left side drainage tube from last year's surgery opened back up, and they ordered a wound pump for me. Buy the fungus injection that... But the fungus infection that took over my pancreas is back. People, can we keep leisure in our thoughts and prayers, please? For real. We're having some laughs. Good night that way. But it is a hell of a shirt, by the way. But leisure needs thoughts and prayers. And leisure is one of the pillars that holds up this boat. Mixed metaphor, but a good one. Leisure's just been a part of this for so long that leisure, I promise you, my friend, I will be praying for you this evening. I promise you, I'm going to be praying for you this evening, and hopefully everybody on this boat is going to be doing the same thing. I know a lot of you will. Yep, Joanna, thank you, Joanna. Charlie Mullins. Thank you, Captain. Come on, leisure. I mean, for real. There's absolutely, there is no thank you required for that at all. You're welcome, but you don't have to thank me for that. That's family. That's what that is. And we'll do that. I promise you we will do that. So it was fun to start going back through all of those things. Swiss Vapor, good to see you. Really, really good to see you. Swiss Vape. Swiss, my brother is here. He doesn't stop by all the time, but I got my brother here. I was making a list at one point when I was incarcerated of the dumbest things that I had heard while locked up. And it took so much size and shape that I was kicking around the prospect of turning it into a book as opposed to a list because people said really stupid things there, like on demand. You just hear some of the dumbest things that you will ever hear in your life. But I'll just tell you one or two of them because there's one that is just staggeringly funny. People read an awful lot. I bet you run out of paper, right? Exactly. No matter how much paper you had, you'd run out of paper. But people read when incarcerated. A lot of people read a lot because it's one of the greatest ways to burn time. It really helps knock down that time. A guy in the New York Hot Sauce Expo came by our booth and wanted me to autograph his wife. Like somewhere, like on her body somewhere. and you declined. You know, good decision. Good decision. I don't think you want to start autographing body parts. I don't know. It's a personal thing, but I don't know that I would want to go down that road. So a whole lot of reading takes place, and very oftentimes you try to get into a series, right? Because if you can get Bernard Cornwell does some stuff, and he's got like 9 books, 10 books in the series. Well, that can kill months, or at least weeks, and that's what we're looking for is to kill weeks. So this guy comes by and he says to me, "I got a book for you," and hands it to me. He said, "You're going to love this. It's really, really a good book." And I said, "Hey, is this a standalone book? You know what I mean? Because if this is part of a series, then I don't want to read out of whack. I don't want to read the 3rd book first, because that just destroys the entire thing, right? I don't want that to happen." I said, "And this cat, the author, he writes trilogies. I've read several of this guy's stuff. He writes trilogies." I said, "So before I get started on this, can you tell me if this thing is, if it's a standalone book or is it part of a trilogy?" He came back and he said, "Dragonface Chronicles, the Dragonlance Chronicles, nice." He comes back and he goes, "Listen, man, honestly, I hadn't read the book. I'm going to read it after you. But the dude that handed it to me, he said, it's not a trilogy. It's a biology." Did you get that? It's not a trilogy. It's a biology. Yeah. And the craziest part about this is the guy that said it was kind of frightening. You know what I mean? Like, he was one of those cats that you really, really would not want to offend. Like Pacific. Yeah, that's exactly like that. Tommy, exactly like that. But I didn't want to offend this person. The last thing in the world I wanted to do was like laugh in his face. So you just sort of sat there going, "Is this the first book in the biology or the second?" And you just sort of had to fight your way through it. I'm finally off morphine. Had to believe that I relapsed. It's hard to believe that I relapsed on it. That teaches me to be aware of the fact that it can happen with booze too. Mind tricks us addicts, no question. And perfect example of what I'm talking about all the time. 2 types of relapse, right? There are good relapses and there are bad relapses. If you figure out exactly why you did what you did so that you can prevent it from happening again. If you know what the canary in the coal mine kind of symptoms are. So when I start doing this, I'm already in relapse. I haven't started to drink yet, or I haven't started to use drugs yet. But when I start doing X or I start doing this, then I'm just not right. And I know that I'm going down the wrong path. If you figure that out, then that's a great relapse. That's an awesome relapse. If you dust yourself off and get up and go, "Yeah, well, that kind of sucks," and then just go about your business, that's a bad relapse. And you will keep doing bad relapses until you get a really good one. And once you get a really good one, then you can really start to put all of that into play. Alcohol is the worst drug because it's readily available. 357. It's certainly the most readily available, no question. And it's also socially acceptable, I'm not going to go to a party and have somebody go, "Hey, welcome, we have hors d'oeuvres or whatever. You want some smack?" You know what I mean? Like, that's never going to happen. But if a person has a problem with alcohol, you go to a party and people are going to offer it to him. As soon as he goes in the door, he or she, "Can I get you a cocktail?" Right? And they're not, these people aren't being cruel. They just don't know better, right? So it's one of those things that it's hard. It definitely is a hard one to quit. And you have to be sort of out in people's faces about it. Brandon Taylor. Hello, everybody. 28 hours clean. That's my guy. That is my guy. I am really proud of you, bud. Really proud of you. And not a doubt in my mind that you can do this. For real. We've had a little bit of a conversation, he and I. There's not a doubt in my mind. He's got it all structured. He's got the why. He knows why he's doing it. He knows it's just a good thing. I think you're on really, really solid ground, Brandon. Just keep it up. Just keep up doing what you're doing. The greatest thing about sobriety is if you do it for one day, then you can do it forever. Because it's literally just repeating it the following day. That's why people always say, you don't have to concentrate on being sober for the rest of your life. You just have to be, you just have to concentrate on being sober today, right? Tomorrow will take care of itself. But if you get that one day under your belt, you feel like you're going to use, or you're going to, get into your, your substance of choice, your habit of choice. If you get through that, you go, no, I'm not doing that. And you come up with some tool, right? I'm going to go outside. I'm going to get some air in my lungs. I am going to shift so that the desire part of my brain will get overridden by the part of my brain that, deduces, the part of my brain that can make decisions. I'm going to let that take back over. And if you can make that happen, well, then the next day, all you got to do is repeat it, right? And there may be a couple of other bumps in the road. They might be slightly different, but it's just about putting those tools together. And by the time you've done 30 days sober, you should have a pretty decent amount of tools in the toolbox. One day is much more of an accomplishment than many people realize. Oh, I agree with you. It's the most important day, right? It's the most important day ever. If you don't get that first one sober, you're never going to get, 2, 3 a year. Got to get that first one under your belt. And every subsequent day after that first one, you don't have to deal with the decision process, right? That first one is massive because it's not just a matter of abstaining. You have to abstain from your substance of choice, and you also have to make that decision. And it's a monumental decision for most people. I said I'm putting it down. Today's the day, right? I'm not doing this anymore. That is a very, very big decision, and oftentimes it leaves sort of an emotional hangover, right? You make this decision and you're fired up, man. You're ready to take the world over. I'm doing this. I'm going to do this. And then, reality sinks in and it's hard. It's not as easy as just, sort of saying it. And, you find yourself then, in a struggle. That first day is tough. 357 is right. I don't think people give enough credit to just how tough that first day can be, and what a freaking accomplishment it is. You get through that first day, and the rest of them are all coming. I promise you. You know what? I'm going to blow my nose. I'm going to do it off camera because it's kind of foul and disgusting. This is a dangerous thing. For those people who know me on the lifeboat, this is the dangerous thing. Sorry. But, how am I doing? Huh? I got any hangers? Okay. I've been having terrible allergies. I can't tell you for sure it's allergies, but man, it's just been like 2 weeks of this. I'm quite impressed with myself. I've not drank today. I promised I would be here. I've been staying awake, trying not to fall asleep. Lots of painkillers. Horrible toothache. Oh, Major, that's awful. Hey, don't tell me what to do. From time to time, you have to wipe your nose on the cat. It is one of those things. And she's boogied down. Don't tell me it's down. Is it down? Don't do that. Stacy, I hope you're playing with me. Yeah, she's a good cat. She could probably put up with me, with me wiping my schnoz on her from time to time. Yeah, very good cat. Major, we know this is a tough one, right? This was a day that you knew was going to be rugged to get through, right? And it's never easy, especially on those monumentous days that are coming. Leisure there with you now. For instance, the 5th of June, I was married. It was my wedding anniversary to the first woman that I was married to, the mother of my children. And the second woman I married on the 2nd of June. So the first week of June is a little tough. Brandon says, proud of you, Major. You know what? I think we probably all are. I really do. And you know something? You got Brandon, who's got 28 hours of sobriety under his belt, right? But is concentrating on somebody else here that is trying to fight the same fight. What has made this channel so unreal to me is that phenomenon, right? People outside of the rehabilitation community focus so much on themselves, right? The people that are reading a million self-help books and doing all of those things, it's the me thing, right? I need to do this. I want to do that. It's all about me. I can't tell you the number of times here on the boat when, someone will come on and say, I'm struggling to beat hell with this substance. And then the next thing you know, a minute or two later, they're reaching out to somebody and saying, I'm here for you. We're proud of you. Any of those things. Here, so many people look outside themselves. The gift of sobriety is one of the only gifts that you're ever going to get only by giving it away. The more you give it away, the more it seems to be yours for real. What percentage of people incarcerated are in prison because they were on drugs? 80+% is the statistic that is given out most often. Now, they usually are referring to people that have some element of drugs in the crime. Like, as a bank robber, I would not have made that list. But I assure you, I robbed the bank for drugs, right? As a gun runner, I would not have made that list. But I was selling those guns to buy dope. So the list is skewed. If they say 80%, I bet you money it's close to 90. And then the last 10, there's some greed and there's some mental illness, but the large majority of it comes from drugs. It really does. If I say something is going to happen, I hope you are going to say then it's going to happen. Funny things that people have emailed me or texted me. Yeah, people, this is fun. Take it a little bit less to the best of my ability. Well done, Major. We're proud of you. I mean that. Truthfully, that's something that, good stuff. Same with you, Brandon. It's that early phase of any, when you're beating an addiction, that early phase is terrifying, it's difficult, and it's so exciting. It really is. Because all of the huge changes that are going to happen to you as a person, they're going to happen in the first couple of months. The rest are just sort of ironing things out. Those first couple of months are like, you're really finding out who the heck you are. And that's a beautiful thing. Love you all. Got a split. You got this, Brandon. Thank you. Really appreciate you stopping by, my brother Johnny. Don't be a stranger, right? You come on out here. There's a lot of people that would like to see you eat Sustroming again. They'd actually like to see me just watch you eat Sustroming. Maybe I could have some toast while you had Sustroming. Or I could eat tuna. That's a fish. I could eat tuna. Trout. Trout's a good fish. You could eat Sustroming and I could eat trout. Think about it. No, I'm not eating any Vegemite. Jackson, how dare you? I'm going to make it. My fiance is too important not to. Awesome. Awesome. And she absolutely deserves the best of you. Right? That's really, that's just the truth. Salmon is excellent. Have your guys call my guys. We'll do lunch. I don't have any guys. You might. I got a hat. We'll do that. Squirrel. Get him on the horn. Yeah, there is nothing more important than, you're saying fiance. When I try to call you, I get your guys. You're saying fiance, you're not saying wife, right? And that's awesome because so often when we decide to get sober, we've got somebody that has been with us that we've been lying to throughout a marriage. And that's god awful. It's not great to lie to your fiance. It's not great to lie to family or friends. But when you make that vow, right? When the two of you, become one, right? In that ceremony, no more lying, right? There can't be any of that. So really proud of you, man. I really am. Captain, oh Captain, today I got a phone call from my friend in Wisconsin. My bunkie died. Overdose on heroin. We had some of the time in jail. Hard to think about this. At the rate that they're going, I'm sorry, Vape. I really am. I'm not at all surprised. I've lied to all of myself for so long. Me too. Me too. I'm telling you, guy. Every once in a while, I look up the people that I did time with. I mean, you get hundreds of cellmates over the course of a long sentence. But the ones that, you spent a decent amount of time with, anything over 6 months to a year, I'll punch them into the computer. And every once in a while, you'll get the thing that says they're not in the system. They haven't been released because they would have a release date. They're not in a facility because they would have a facility. It just says not in the system. And they were either murdered or they overdosed and died. Right? There's not really any other option. And it is really incredible, the number of people that are dying. A little tomato and onion? Yeah, I like it. I really do. I like it. Full of hope. Glad you're here. Glad you are here. Yeah, Stacy, I agree. It really is one of those things. Hakarl for Johnny, Sistroming for Tommy. Yeah, there's really no way to win with those two. Kind of like the salmon idea. Or peanut butter. Like maybe I could just do a bunch of peanut butter. No milk. That would be bold, right? Eating peanut butter without milk. Kind of pasty, sticks to the roof of your mouth. And then my brother can eat that foul, disgusting fish. I think that would be great. I really do. Yeah. I look up a lot of people. Most are passed on. Yeah, I mean, the coming back here was really strange. Hopping off. Got to get back to work. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Captain. Brandon, keep it up, bud. Keep it up. You know where I am if you need me. Reach out. All right? Keep it up. It's just the best is yet to come, brother. I promise you. And you got all the right reasons. You got everything in line, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. The guy, I hate myself, though, for it, though. Prison, really? Well, your prison system is different from Minnesota. Like, unless you're in Stillwater or Oak Park Heights, yet good, but I don't want to justify or anything. I was in the feds. I mean, my stuff was the federal system, and once you get trapped in that system, it doesn't matter what you do. Like once you've been busted by the feds, even if the next crime isn't a federal offense, there's a really good chance they're going to pick it up because they just get this affection for you. I guess. Hold on. Sorry, people. Sandstone is a primo for Fed. Sandstone. That sounds familiar. That really does. Holy good God. Bent genetics. So I have been busy lately. My dad went in for emergency heart surgery. I had to go to Arizona. Bent, good to see you, bud. Really good to see you. Your family, you could be gone for a year and then come back. right? Your family. I'm glad to see you. I'm really sorry to hear about your dad. That's tough. My dad went through a bunch of those, and I remember it being. It's like they're tearing your heart out. I know that that's really tough, and you're just on a really incredible run, Ben. You really are, man. God bless you, and I mean that. You know what, people? I'm gonna say it, right? I'm trying to become a YouTuber. I am gonna say it. Do me a favor and hit that like button. Like the videos. And please hit the subscribe button. You can hit the bell for notification. And then anytime I decide to go live with a cat in a basket, you're not going to miss it. And you don't want to miss Squirrel. You know, Squirrel is fun. He's doing better. But from his drinking for so long, he is having withdrawals. They're having to keep him drugged up. Oh, yeah, I would imagine. The good news is that you can... It's a fairly easy thing in a hospital situation to step down a person's alcohol use with the use of benzodiazepines. Really is a pretty safe way, and not such a vicious and brutal way for him. I mean, he's gonna be uncomfortable because he's used to the taste and the ritual and all of that, but they can really easily sort of bring him down slowly. If you filmed it, put it up on your channel, please. I'm not sure what I might have filmed. From his smoking, he has advanced COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Awful, man. This is he's really on a tough run here. Bent, man, tough. Really, really tough. I've got some decent pictures of the sky on my channel, which is just the major. Ah. I do go and look at those sky videos from time to time. We've got some people on the channel that do it, and some of them are fascinating. Truthfully, some of them are just cool to watch. Brittany Has Eyes. It's got a pretty cool channel that does that. No, Tommy, you're one behind. I'm way more than one behind, brother. I'm way more than one behind. Yeah, I'm catching up, though. How does a penguin build a house? It glues it together. It glues it together. I don't even know what to say about that one. I really don't. It's, yeah. We were talking about the planet alignment. If my bobble-headed partner had been here, he probably could have weighed in on that. That is right in Mark's wheelhouse, so to speak. It glues it together? Oh, I'd be ashamed of yourself. Full of Hope seems to like it, though. I'm sorry, Bent. Sending love, light, and healing prayers this way. Yep. Much love to you and yours, all of you. Well, thanks, Major. Congratulations, man. Tough day. Tough day, and you did great. COPD is what took my wife from me. I'm sorry, Seven. Truthfully. I'm sorry. Penguins are cute, but it glues it together. Took the cute right out of that penguin. All right, people. We are at the top of the hour. And that can only mean a couple of things. Number one, it means that this show is over. So we'll be traveling from California to Arizona. Yippee. Yeah. Sounds like fun. NAC, everyone should use it for chest dysfunction. NAC. Not sure what that is. People, I'm going to be back tomorrow, but I'm not going to be back at the same bat time. Everybody heard that? Pay attention. Tomorrow night, I have a previous engagement that there is no way to get out of. So, I'm going to go live at 5 o'clock on the West Coast. 5 o'clock on the West Coast, not 6. So it will be 1 hour earlier than normal. Everybody get that? It's going to be 1 hour earlier than I normally do it. Yeah, see, Full of Hope's got it. Miss V's got it. Yeah, 1 hour early, people. So I expect to see you all on deck 1 hour early. Much love, everyone. Love your faces. Bent, we miss you, bud. We really do. Take care of yourself and don't be a stranger, please. Yeah, full of hope. That is funny. It really is kind of the middle of the night. 8 p.m. East Coast time. Well done, Jackson. That's exactly when it is. So between now and then, I want you to reach out and I want you to try to save somebody. Please. It's the right thing. Right now, especially. Charlie Murphy, we love you too, bud. The guy says she was my second mom, taking care of me and the lion and tiger when I was in diapers. All right, people. Yep. Okay. We will see you tomorrow night. I am Captain Tommy Scoville. There was nobody on the other side of the glass, people. There was just nobody on the other side of the glass. That works, guy. The person you save, if it's yourself, you're doing great. Alrighty, people. Have a great night. Nah, I'm just kidding. And this. That is a cat in a basket. Good night, everybody. We love you. Good yawn on demand, squirrel. Pretty impressive. It's a good pussy cat. You're a good girl, squirrel.